Iran draws a hard red line: no more strikes on Beirut, or there will be no ceasefire deal on the table at all. Is Tehran now calling the shots? Will Israeli strikes on Lebanon pause under mounting Iranian pressure and diplomatic heat? Amid explicit Iranian threats and ultimatum, is Benjamin Netanyahu finally being pushed toward ending the Lebanon war on Iran's terms? A senior Iranian security source told state media that intense pressure from Tehran forced Israel to halt its strikes on Beirut, framing the pause as a direct result of Iran's leverage. According to this account, Iran made the cessation of attacks on Beirut a firm precondition for joining ceasefire talks in Islamabad with the United States. The source said Washington was effectively compelled to restrain Israel after Iran issued a clear and firm warning that it would walk away from the process. Iran reportedly postponed planned talks in Islamabad several times in response to continued Israeli strikes on Lebanon, using the delay as negotiating pressure. Tehran insisted that protecting Beirut and its southern suburb of Dahieh had to be written into any ceasefire terms as a non-negotiable condition. Iran warned that if Israeli attacks on Lebanon continued, the entire negotiation framework with the US could collapse. According to the source, any fresh strike on Beirut would immediately terminate the talks, with Iran ready to walk away from the ceasefire arrangements. Hezbollah and Israel kept up their attacks on the night of April 9th to 10th, adding to the confusion and uncertainty surrounding the ceasefire. Hezbollah launched what it described as its deepest attack yet in the ongoing war by targeting the southern coastal city of Ashdod. The IDF said it intercepted the missile fired at the southern coastal city before it could cause greater damage. No injuries were reported immediately, according to a report by the Times of Israel, though the situation remained tense. Sirens sounded in Tel Aviv and nearby towns in central Israel after the missile interception, warning residents to take cover. The IDF said sirens were also activated in Tel Aviv over fears that falling fragments could cause damage on the ground. Air raid sirens were also triggered in northern Israel amid growing fears of a Hezbollah drone attack. Amid intensifying hostilities, Israel's prime minister signaled that Lebanon, too, could eventually see a truce. Netanyahu's comments came after Iran claimed that Lebanon was included in the truce with the US, adding to the confusion. However, the US and Israel had denied including Lebanon in the two-week ceasefire deal, rejecting those claims. In response to Israeli attacks on Lebanon, Iran once again shut the Strait of Hormuz on April 9th, escalating the pressure. The reopening of the key oil shipping route through the Strait of Hormuz was one of Trump's conditions for a truce.
I want to tell you there is no ceasefire in Lebanon. We are continuing to strike Hezbollah with force, and we will not stop until we restore your security. Following repeated appeals from the Lebanese government to enter into peace negotiations with us, last night I instructed the cabinet to open direct negotiations with Lebanon in order to achieve two goals. 1. The disarmament of Hezbollah. 2. A historic, sustainable peace agreement between Israel and Lebanon.
Meanwhile, Iran's supreme leader issued a statement urging the Middle East to remain wary of the West and its wider intentions.
At this time, I say to Iran's southern neighbors that you are witnessing a miracle. So see correctly, understand correctly, stand in the right place, and be suspicious of the promises and lies of the devils. We are still waiting for a suitable response from you to show you our brotherhood and goodwill. This will not happen except by your opposition to the arrogant, who will not miss any opportunity to humiliate you and exploit you. We have not and do not seek war, but we will not give up our rights in any way. And in this regard, we are considering all the resistance fronts as a whole. Dear nation, although with the end of the official period of mourning for the martyrdom of our great leader, it may shed the attire of mourning, its resolute determination to avenge his pure blood, and that of all the martyrs of the second and third imposed wars, remains alive in its soul and heart, and it will persistently be on the lookout for its fulfillment.